Brilliant Strategies. It's something I do most Monday mornings, 8:30 in the morning Eastern. So welcome. I'm happy to start off the week with you. And when you jump on, let me know who you are, where you are, and all that good stuff. Say good morning to me. I was just out for my walk, so hence my T-shirt, because it feels so good to start the day off that way. And I'm also here with my green smoothie, and to share my recipe. Some of you have asked, and I'd love to hear your recipes if you're a smoothie drinker. I've got spinach, apple, Greek yogurt, protein powder, blueberries. Gotta have blueberries; they're good for the brain, and some banana in here, and some water. And that's how I start my morning off. Good morning, Irene. Good morning, Connie. So if you are a smoothie drinker, I'd love to hear your recipe too. But this is kind of my go-to smoothie every morning when I first start, and I miss it when I travel, to be really honest with you. I like my routine. Is anybody else here a morning routine person? I just really like starting my day off certain ways. It just feels really, really good, and I just feel so much more focused and get so much more done that way. And for those of you who are on Facebook with me, obviously you all are, but I have a slight injury. It's got stitches in my fingers, so if you ever see any typos for the next week, that's why. You'd be surprised how much you need your little pinky, quite a bit. So today, what I want to focus on with you in our live stream is another strategy around making more money. And what I just want to invite you to is that if what I'm saying and what I'm teaching is resonating with you, I would be so appreciative if you would share this live stream. Help me get the word out to even more people. That would be really, really wonderful. So what I want to talk about today is a mindset around money, and actually a mindset around reaching your goals. So this is a couple of weeks ago. I was out on my balcony like I am right now, and I hear this little boy just like yelling, screaming. It's like, "Mom, Mom!" You know, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This is like a nice, quiet place. And his mother, I don't know who knows what she was doing, but she didn't come out. And so finally I yelled down to the little boy. He's probably like 4 or 5, like, what do you need? He goes, I need help. I said, you want me to come down? I don't really know this kid. I've never seen him around. I don't know him. I don't even know his name, but he's like, yeah, I need help. So I went downstairs, and what happened is he has a snake. And here's a 4 or 5-year-old boy with a snake. Don't ask me anything more about why he has a snake. That's his pet. And he brought the snake to the pool against telling his parents, because his parents, I guess, would have killed him. He's not allowed to take the snake out of his house. But he brought the snake down, put it in the pool. The snake got caught in the drain, right? So this poor little kid is like freaking out because his snake is like in the drain, right? And this is his beloved pet. So he didn't know what to do, and that's why he was yelling for help. He's like, can you help me? Can you help me? And I'm like, I don't know how to open up a drain. But what I did for him is I went and got our maintenance guy. Now, our maintenance guy lives, in our building, but it was after hours. And it was like, we just did it. It didn't matter. And he came out, and he ended up rescuing and getting the kid's snake back to him. But the reason I'm sharing this story is because it made me think about, when you were a child, or if you have a child, maybe that might resonate more with you, whichever you remember more, is that think about how often, how that child is really relentless. Or when you were a child and you really wanted something, how relentless you were till you actually got it, right? That kid would have screamed out there for a half hour, an hour, whatever, till somebody came down. He also would have, it didn't matter that the maintenance guy was after hours, he had to get his snake. And think about that, how often, you've got something, maybe you want to get a new client, maybe you want to make some more money in your business, maybe you want to create a new program, but something pops up and you lose your focus. So just think about that for a moment. And so that thing that you thought was, quote, so important to you, it really is not so important because you're getting distracted. People do this all the time. You see it on diets. It's like, oh, well, they really want to, lose that weight, but, that cheesecake looks so good. So think about it. When you've got something like that is so important to you, do you stay focused like that little boy with his snake? Or do you sit there and say, well, the snake, that snake, whatever. It's the same with your clients. Like if you really want to get a client and you're so easily distracted, then you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get the clients, or you're not going to get the money you want. So think about what I'm just saying. I'd love to hear your thoughts so far, because it's a really, really important subject. And good morning, Ashley. I see you just hopped on. Good morning, Nikki. If you're just joining us, I was sharing the story about the little boy who lives in my building and his snake, how it got lost. He brought it down, not telling his parents, because he's not supposed to let that snake out of his home. And he brought the snake down to the pool. The snake got caught up in the drain. Of course, the little boy didn't have a snake. He needed, he was scared about what was happening to the snake. He didn't want the snake to die. And he was just screaming for help. He's like, he would not have stopped till he got help. And I want you all to think about how often you really have something that is so important to you, but yet, unlike that little boy, you let distraction get in the way. You let something else get in the way, so you lose your focus. Okay? Something you thought was so important, it doesn't happen. And then you wonder, like, well, why isn't it happening? But that's because you lost your focus. So this is such a great topic for a Monday morning, to have you really think about it, because the more focused you can be, not that you have to scream bloody murder like that little boy was, but the more you can stay focused and not let distractions get in the way, the more likely you are to actually achieve what you want. So who's got any thoughts, questions? Such a great Monday morning topic, don't you think? Kind of a funny story too, right? Boy and his snake, but it is what it is, right? Just think about maybe even just this past week. You said you were going to do something, and then, you were focused this way, and then something else came like that, and you just went that way and followed it along. And then the thing you really wanted didn't happen. So then what happens? You don't get what you want, right? So when you think about what I just shared, what are you going to do differently this week? What are you going to do differently this week to stay on track? And I would love for you, since you all seem to like the snake story, please share this video when I post it. Please share the live stream with your community. Okay, so Connie, I'm seeing your question, so I'm just trying to read it. A lot of business owners are big picture people who aren't good at details, and they tend to get distracted easily. What do you recommend for people like this? So I will tell you this too. There's a joke too that not a joke like haha joke, but that entrepreneurs, we're so creative. Maybe we all have a little bit of ADD inside of us too. We are. We're the creators, right? And we're the starters. It's like, oh, this looks good. This looks good. This looks good. So ultimately, what you want to do is you want to hire people who balance you out. And so if you're the starter, they're the finisher, right? If you're the big picture person, they're the one who puts it in details, who puts the timeline together. So that's ultimately what you want to do. In the meantime, what you really want to do is really put some strategies together. I always have my clients, we put together plans, put together morning focuses of what they're working on. If you don't have a mentor, Connie, have a mentor. That's really important, because your mentor will keep you focused. In my coaching program, we even have an accountability coach just to keep people on track. But you're so right. This is such a big problem, because we do, as entrepreneurs, we love to create. We love to create, right? So we start doing this, and then we start doing this, and then we start doing this, and this, and this. And if you keep going like that, what will happen is you have lots of half-baked ideas, and you won't have them really come to fruition, and you won't have the money. You're very welcome. And Nikki, yep, that can happen too. You lose sight of what you want to do, and that's why it's so important. We just had this intensive for my coaching program a couple of days ago, and really getting them to focus on why it's so important, because it is so easy. I mean, life gets in the way, and these things aren't, it isn't just like you're doing this on purpose, but life does happen. Things pop up, you get the cheesecake in front of you, whatever it is, and the distraction pops up, and you lose focus. But the thing is that if you aren't able to really keep that focus all the time, and I don't mean you have to be robotic, Because there are going to be times you will get distracted, but if you aren't able to pull yourself back and say, like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's the most important thing? You will lose focus, and then you won't get what you want. Even just, for example, my finger. I had to go to urgent care twice over the weekend for it, and it would be really easy for me to just say, well, I'm going to just be, not do what I need to do and stuff like that. And not saying that I am, oops, I'm just important to me, and I want to make sure they happen. So sometimes you got to kind of push things aside. So, are there any other questions about this topic? It's so great, such a great topic, and I'm really great to kind of kick off. Really happy to kick off your week focused on this as well. Yeah, Nikki, sometimes you got to be robotic. Sometimes, if that's what it takes, sometimes you almost have to do it just to get yourself really in focus, because it's so easy otherwise for things to just happen and get you distracted. And then if you get distracted, excuse me, then you don't get what you want. So again, think of that little boy with the snake, right? He would have screamed and screamed and screamed for as long as it took till he got someone to help him. He was not losing focus. He was not getting distracted. He had to get help to save his snake. And little kids will do that. If you've got little kids around you, they will, you know what it's like. If they want that toy man, and they want you to buy it for them, or they want that dessert or whatever it is, little kids will not stop. You guys know that. They're relentless. But don't they usually, oops, let me just pop this, close that just popped up. Don't they usually get what they want, right? Callie's the same way, man. If she wants it, like if her ball goes under the couch, she's relentless till I get that ball for her. She's relentless. And, it's like that focus. So just think, if you could be that relentless about your goals, about your dreams. They're your dreams. They're not my dreams. They're your dreams. So if you could be that relentless, imagine what could happen. Now, I know we're getting almost out of time. I've got to get ready. I've got my team meeting. So, Connie, another thing to answer your question is my team, we meet every Monday morning, and they keep me on track. I keep them on track. It's a mutual support thing. But for anybody listening, if what I'm saying really is resonating with you, and you could really use some support to help you stay on track, and maybe even help you uncover what really your big thing is, I'd love to have a conversation with you, especially if you're looking for mentorship, to see if I'm the right person to help you and keep you supported, so you actually do get what you want and you get to save your snake, right? So good morning, Joanne. So everybody, thank you. And have a really wonderful week. And until then, be brilliant. Bye, everybody.